Do you want even more unique, funny business content? If so, make sure you guys are following us on TikTok. We post some awesome highlights from our episodes on there, and even some of our crazy moments from Fortnite, Rocket League, and other video games. And you never know what kind of TikTok trends we are going to try out when we are together in person. Be sure to search Funny Business EN on TikTok and drop a follow. Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing great. Welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. A very special episode for you all today. If you are watching on YouTube, you probably already know. If you're not, that's fine. But we are doing yet another long overdue in-person podcast. So, just wanted to get back together, get back with my best bud. So Mike, thank you for yet again being a gracious host and having me.
Man, we're getting the band back together.
The boys are back in town.
It's great when, I am the only person who's freaking living here. Like when we have guests over, Matt, and, it's always nice that you're a reoccurring guest, but I feel like I'm on like a talk show. Like, hey, Matt, like, welcome to the...
It does feel pretty cool to have like doing the podcast in person. Like it is a really cool feeling. I don't know how to explain it. You kind of have to like experience it for yourself to get the true feeling, but like it does, like there's a different vibe to it for sure.
There is. And also on top of that, we finally are in the living room once again, at a different angle. Many episodes ago, I was saying that we were planning on doing the podcast with my chair. It's finally here.
It looks great.
Oh my gosh, dude. I didn't even do this yet. This is the best part.
Oh, it's electric?
Oh, yeah. It's electric, man.
Oh, man.
That's how it is.
Holy food.
Wow, I'm going to stand like this for most of the podcast now.
I would too.
Sorry, man. You have a cup holder, though.
No, yeah, cup holder's great. I love the futon.
Futon. Dude, the futon, like we've said during the very first episode, like a futon at a place is like major key.
That's like classy.
It's
like
very
when you walk
classy.
in a place in the living room, there's a futon, you're like, whoa, this guy's rich. That's my first thought. Is that not your first thought?
No. Oh. It's just like, oh, this guy's very hospitable and keeping their guests on a futon. Like, it's not like you have to do like a couch and try to figure that out.
I would rather a futon than a couch.
Yeah, to a degree.
Yeah. Futon's a lot more versatile.
Very much so, Matt.
It is.
Very much so.
Not that I know.
Well, welcome all again to another at-home podcast. Matt, I thought we would start off today, and you're thinking I'm going in this direction about the topics, but I do have a surprise.
Okay.
Your birthday is coming up very shortly.
Correct.
So I thought I would get you a little something.
Okay. Oh, no. Oh, man. I've seen murder novels about this. Oh, my God.
Here you go, buddy.
I'm throwing this out the window.
I put it in a Bath and Body Works gift bag.
Oh, I actually know what this is. Hold on. I believe I know what this is. Yes, let me show the camera for all those. Not a sponsor. Not an ad.
Wow. Okay, Matt.
I just want to make sure that people know. Oh,
there you
that's
go, brother.
Right. Yes. The headphones.
So Matt has been using Apple headphones for God knows how many
forever
episodes now. He switched from Beats. The Beats weren't working. He has Apple headphones. And I'm like, Matt, I do have a spare pair if you want them.
We even remember like the third episode when I was using my AirPods.
Oh my God.
And they died halfway through. We had to restart the whole show. That was fun.
I remember, dude, there's more in there. You think I'm that basic and getting you one thing?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. I see a canned one. Right I see some beer. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
So, big shout out to Steve Reed, Jenna's father.
Steve.
There is a local brewery down in their area. It is Hidden River Brewing Company. Sponsor us, please, because I love your beer.
Yes.
Matt currently is holding on to a blueberry sour double IPA.
Yes.
And then on the other hand that Matt has, the red can, is a strawberry sour double IPA. For those who have not had it, it may seem, well, Mike, it's a sour, right? Well, no, it's not. It's actually a double IPA. So
it's not a sour.
It's not a sour.
Interesting.
But it doesn't taste like an IPA.
Interesting.
And then there's one more gag gift in there, too, for you.
Yeah, it looks like a candle information.
Oh, no, not that thing.
Not this?
There's like a piece of paper in there.
Oh, there is. Let's see what this is. Oh, hey, this is intriguing. Actually, this is going to come in handy.
Yeah.
For taxes.
For taxes.
For taxes. Let's go.
So Matt made a gift. When did you make a gift? You made a gift you tell me that.
October of 2020.
Yeah, October 2020. And I've had that receipt. Now, mind you, Matt has been here multiple times and has yet, I either forget, he forgets, we both forget.
Actually, great timing because we haven't done taxes yet. And I was looking for my receipts. I was like, hey, I think I'm missing some receipts or whatnot.
And remember you telling me, I don't need that. Do you really think I need that?
Oh, hold on. We need that, my man. Hold on.
We need that, my man.
Thank you, buddy.
Happy birthday. Early birthday.
I love her. It's always nice getting an early birthday present.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? You may get more surprises down the pike. So,
God willing.
Well, Matt, additionally, what I really wanted to talk about today is you said last week on the show that you got your COVID vaccine.
I did.
What I thought today, because we are in person, and I thought this would be more conversational, is, first of all, what was your COVID-19 vaccine?
I got Moderna.
You got the Moderns.
I got Moderna.
The Moderna.
Yep.
I don't know if they call it Moderns in the public.
I don't believe they do. I feel like that would not make people get the vaccine.
So Matt, let's talk about it. How was your experience? What are some things that you expected that didn't happen? But also to any other things that you may want to share with our funny business audience about when and if they get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Sure. So I was able to schedule an appointment. I got on last Monday. I scheduled it for last Wednesday. So I got it pretty quick. I actually got mine at Dorney Park in Allentown. It was a drive-through location.
Interesting.
So I didn't have to leave my car the whole time. So
Okay.
So I pulled up. There was parking lot was just full of cars. I thought I was going to be there for like an hour because it looked packed. So I pull in, then they kind of put you in a line. They have like 12 different lines and tons of traffic cones. So I go in and you put your car in park, and then they come by. They ask for your name because you had to have an appointment. So I I gave them my name, birthday, and then they give you like a questionnaire to fill out, basically saying like, have you been in contact with anyone in the last 14 days? Kind of like the questionnaires that everyone was filling out to begin with.
Okay.
And then they ask you if you have any questions, and they'll talk through any questions that you have. So even if you still have questions the day of the shot, you can still ask the question. They'll answer it for you. And then we kind of went line by line, went off, and they put you in a separate line, like a giant tent. And then she came by, kind of talked you through what they were going to do. And then when you finally pull up for the vaccine, at least the location I was in, they put the Band-Aid on your arm first. So it looks like a little bullseye kind of. But they put that on, and then they stick the needle through the center of the bullseye.
Interesting.
So it's like already a Band-Aid in one, so you don't have to like take time to put the Band-Aid on.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you said it's a drive-through.
Right.
In most cases, when somebody gets the COVID vaccine, from what I've been told, is you kind of wait 15 minutes to do that.
Yep.
How did you do that when it's a drive-through?
So you just pulled forward in the line that you were in, and they kind of made you sit there. They have like markers. They drew. There we go. They drew all over.
Water podcast.
Gatorade for me today. They drew on your windshield, so they
Okay.
do like time limits and stuff like that. So when you get your shot, they write down like, I don't know, let's say like 10 o'clock. So then when you drive forward after you get your shot, you sit there, and when it comes to 10:15, the lady lets you go and you can drive away.
Nice.
And they tell you, like, if you do a drive-through one, they'll tell you if you do have a reaction. They said they don't really have many people have a reaction that quick. But they will have you, like, put your flashers on, honk your horn, and people, tons of employees. They honestly, I was in and out in, like, 20 minutes. And there was tons of cars. There was 12 lines of people registering, 12 lines of people getting the vaccine. They had it down to a science. It was pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, that's really cool, Matt. I knew you were very, I mean, I think it's becoming, I don't want to say like a thing to do now. Like Krispy Kreme's coming out with, having donuts for if you get the COVID-19 vaccine, all these things. But it's almost like we've been discussing since we first started doing this podcast that we're at the end of the light. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. And, I'm like, for me, like I'm looking forward to getting the vaccine. I will be taking the vaccine. The thing that I am concerned about, which I don't know if you saw, AstraZeneca,
I did see this.
did get a emergency approval. Again, don't take our news for nothing.
We're not doctors, just masters.
But it's, say that joke every time. It's not 100% effective. It's the lowest out of all the vaccines.
Interesting. Is it a 2-shot?
I don't know that many of that information. So apologies for adding that. So
I was happy to get one. And I think I should say I didn't really have any reactions to the first one.
Right.
My arm got sore for like a day, but that was pretty much about it. And actually my whole family, my parents and brother got it the same day too. They all had a sore arm for about a day, and that was about it. Now the second shot is where most people get some reactions.
Yeah.
Some people don't. But I'm not really super nervous for it, to be honest. I'm just kind of more like relieved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's about time. I guess that's kind of what we've been seeing. Like, it's about time that people are getting their vaccine and they're going into it.
Yeah.
So
if you're interested in getting a vaccine, call your doctor, ask questions that you have, and I think they have it pretty down. They have it down to a science. They know what they're doing right now, and hopefully we can just keep rolling them out, and maybe summer we'll have things back closer to normal.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. I'm hoping we can start doing live podcasts in front of a live studio audience.
Yes.
Instead of my living room corner.
Hey, we're taking progress.
Yeah.
We haven't done a live podcast in like 3 months.
Yeah.
So this is a step in the right direction.
Matt needs to find excuses on how to come up to do it. So
no, I'll just come up whenever.
Okay, well, you heard it here, folks. So well, we're going to move on to another topic for today. I thought we would have a little fun with just some memory talk again. But I thought I would like to open up because, Matt loves to have his own little title screens for at the end of every segment, at the end of his shows. So I thought I would like to start doing my own.
Okay.
It is finally called, one of these segments is, I Was Today Years Old. So on this brand new segment, I was today years old when I scoured the internet. I tried finding a article or a fact that people are starting to find out now on social media. Matt, I'm sure as a kid, you found very much so your type of transportation during elementary school, middle school, parts of high school. You rode a bus.
So I rode a bus for the beginning of my elementary, middle school days.
Okay.
Once I got to like 6th grade, I did not use the bus, but I still use the bus for athletic events and sorts all kinds of things.
Do you know the song "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round"?
One of my favorite songs of all time.
Really?
No, but yes, I know of it.
So Matt, I think you've realized a majority of the buses that people participate in riding. Which, by the way, fun fact. We'll talk about that later. Actually, okay. Matt, you've noticed that buses are yellow, correct?
Correct.
There's lines on the bus.
Black lines.
Black lines. Correct. Did you know they actually have a purpose?
No, they do?
They do.
Really?
So, with those lines, and Matt, you've obviously, like I said, you've been on a bus. You've been at the height level of a bus. It is much higher than the average car.
Right.
So, one line marks the floor of the bus. So if you're looking at it, it marks the floor of the bus.
Oh, let me Google a picture of the bus.
And then another mark, it marks the bottom of the seats.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing this now. Yeah, okay.
I was today years old when?
I was today years old.
So people on social media are absolutely finding this crazy. That this is what they are now. And I think the purpose of it is if a firefighter or a fire company has to go and save a bus, they know where to cut.
My mind is blown.
Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So,
but to be honest, I just thought they put it on there to make it look cool. Make it look like a bumblebee.
Make it look like a bumblebee. It's not like, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's for the safety of the kids or the participants who are being transported via that bus. But Matt, I was curious, but now I'm a little afraid to ask because I don't know if you have this information, but do you have any bus memories?
Oh, I have a bus memory. So, we always, for track, I did track in high school.
Uh-huh.
We always had the same bus driver every time that would take us home from our track meets.
I used to have the same bus driver too for soccer games.
Yes.
Always, every time.
Great guy, such a character. His name was Norm. Shout out Norm.
Norm.
His real name was something else, but we all called him Norm.
We called our bus driver Mrs. Gehring, which fun fact, that's actually the mother of my high school mentor.
I was 3 years old when. So we did, when we were getting closer to school to get dropped off to go home, we did the Norm Chant. Yes, the Norm Chant.
What?
So what it was, it's going to sound weird, but it was funny at the time. So what it was someone in the back of the bus, usually a senior, would start the Norm Chant by going, "What's that noise?" And we would all go, "Norm, Norm, 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 Norm." And then until he would like raise his fist or something, and then we'd all like freak out. So the very last time we did the Norm Chant on my last track meet,
yeah,
we did the Norm Chant, and he raises his fist. We're all going crazy. I have it on video, and someone in the back yells, "Flex the guns!" And we're all like, "Come on, Norm, like flex the guns!" And he's not doing anything. So we're hooting and hollering, and that's all of a sudden he raises his hand. We all get quiet, and he goes, "Fill the earth with intelligence." And we just lost it. Everyone was just like crying of laughter, just yelling. It was insane, and just the best way to end the Norm Chant.
Wow.
He great guy.
Powerful.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was honestly, it changed my life.
So Matt, I actually had an opportunity of getting on the bus before I was in kindergarten.
Wow.
Do you know why?
No.
My dad was a bus driver.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I did not know that. I literally did not know that.
My dad was a bus driver, and our grandfather was a bus driver.
Interesting.
So every other Friday, my dad would substitute for my grandfather, because my grandfather, another fun fact, not that it was today years old, went for you, but he used to own a bottle shop, but he'd be like a distributor. So he'd like distribute like Snapple sodas to vending machines to camps.
Interesting.
So my dad took place. Matt, besides orientation for when we went to the water park,
correct,
I would say the most fun I've ever had on the bus was when Dad drove, because he would be blaring the music, and he would always bring candy, and I would be responsible for distributing that candy throughout the entire bus.
Okay, that's pretty sick.
While it's moving, totally illegal now.
that's pretty sick though.
But yeah, and like Dad would, I mean, again, this is totally not legal now, but back in the day, it was totally legal. Dad, so like 1985 by Bowling for Soup.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember the lyrics. Debbie just hit the wall. He would turn down the music and everybody would start blaring.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
She thought she had it all. Like, just be going off. And damn, there was like, it was so fun as a kid, because you knew that your dad was the bus driver. And it was so cool to have Dad as the bus driver. And I always remembered that when I was in grade school and my dad still drove bus, Dad would have to drop me off at the house, and I'd always give my dad a hug before leaving, going home. Cool. So
that's funny.
Yeah. So
what was a better ride? Your dad as the school bus driver, or the Uber driver we talked about last week on St. Patrick's Day?
That's a tough one.
It's honestly, I don't blame you. It's a tough one.
Should say, okay, I'll just so I can get away with it. As a kid, best ride ever was with my dad. As a over 21-year-old adult, it was with that Uber driver.
That's a good cop out. That's a smart answer.
Such a good answer.
Very good answer. Very good answer.
So yeah, bus memories. It's one of those things that you get to experience. Do you remember riding home on your search bus?
Yeah,
how was that vibe?
That was a cool vibe.
That was a cool vibe.
It was because the ride there to church was like very awkward. No one was talking. Ride home was like a complete 180, like totally opposite. If everyone's talking to each other.
If you literally had a seat that could sit everybody on that one seat, probably everybody would pile onto that.
Absolutely, yeah. Or like a circular bus, just all sit in a circle. It's not a bad idea.
We should invest, but make sure that we have the lines on it to know where to cut.
Yeah, we're gonna put seatbelts on it. Seatbelts. Well, hit the brake and everybody just flies in the middle. Actually sounds. Or you just put like a trampoline in the middle.
Could we have it spin? Like, you know those like spinning things at a carnival? Like you take the table and you start spinning it.
Like a 360 rotates too, like on an axis. This is just genius ideas we're having today.
Oh,
And again,
man.
no alcohol.
No.
None.
Water.
Water and Gatorade.
I was almost curious to see if you would actually crack open. Matt scared me. He brought his cooler. Didn't know it was chocolate milk in it. I'm like,
Yeah, it's empty milk cartons from Hillside.
yeah. It was like, wait, Matt, like we can't
No,
drink.
we're not drinking. No, not doing it.
Well, speaking of dads, it seems like every time we have an apartment podcast episode, we always talk about some sort of dad. Not meaning my dad, but just being future dads. But we may be running into the issue that we may be starting to take on some mannerisms of a dad. Big shout out. Actually, let's talk about it first before I give the shout out because it's going to sound totally wrong. So, Matt, I'm going to go through some phrases that I found on Facebook that says, "Are you a dad?" And I'm going to tell you the scenario that it happens.
Okay.
Big shout out to Emily Van Horn, who helped me convert the picture into words because it was a picture. And I'm like, I don't have time to type this. I'm like, Emily, can you type it? And she's like, yeah, sure. I was like, listen, this is totally off work. It's very a weird assignment, but I would greatly appreciate it. I'll give you a shout out. So big shout out to Emily. So Matt, I have A through T.
Okay.
I can't do math right now, so I don't know how many of those are. However, are you a dad? So I'm going to give you the scenario, and I'm going to ask you, what do you think what a dad would say?
Okay. Is it multiple choice or no?
It is not multiple choice.
Okay.
When a cashier has trouble scanning an item, you say,
Can I get it for free?
oh, frick, here we go. Yes. That's correct.
That was I think that's a softball that's a softball first question.
Okay. You have a stud finder. You point it at your chest and you say,
Found the stud.
Yep.
I say these all the time.
When a kid has a minor injury, you say, this one's tough.
So what I'm thinking is like the kid has a right arm injury. The dad would say, you want me to punch you in the left arm and equal it out?
Close.
Okay.
Looks like we'll have to amputate it.
That was an easy one. That's a big miss.
All right. When it's time to leave, what do you say?
Ready to rock and roll?
Let's rock and roll.
Yep.
Oh my
Classic.
God, Matt.
Classic.
When someone or a kid takes too long in the bathroom, you say, I say this a lot. Actually, I say this when people tell me they're going to the bathroom.
This is a tough one. Did you fall in?
Yeah, I say that.
Okay.
Don't fall in.
Don't
That's
fall
what
in.
I always respond to. When someone... When someone mistakes left for right, you say...
Did you pass third grade?
No, it's no, your other right.
Oh. Yeah, that's a classic one.
All right, next one. Before looking at a bill, you say...
What's the damage?
What's the damage?
Classic.
You see a neighbor washing their car. What do you tell them?
I don't know this one.
Can you do mine next?
Yeah. Okay. I should have seen that one.
This one's a simple one. After falling asleep on the couch, someone wakes you up. Are you falling asleep? You say,
Just resting my
I was
eyes.
just resting my eyes.
I say that myself too.
I mean, when you're out at night of drinking, I think.
Yeah, listen, no dad wants to admit that they're sleeping because they're tired.
So this one's an interesting one. When seeing a friend in public, you say,
Long time no see?
no. Let me help you out here. Let's say you see them in Walmart.
What are you here for?
Close. Guess they'll let anyone in here.
Yeah. That's a classic one when like you're a dad and like your son or daughter's friends come over.
Yeah.
Or you see them out in public. You're like, I guess they let anyone
in here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
When seeing traffic on the other side of the road, you say,
I feel like I know this one. I'm gonna say, good thing we're not them.
close. Glad we're not going that way.
Okay. Close enough.
You almost forget your keys. What do you say? Keys to your car.
Can't go anywhere without these.
Can't get very far without these.
Yep.
Oh my God. This one I was very confused about. When driving past horses, you say,
Oh, I feel like my dad's done this.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like it. I'm going to say, hey, how's it hanging? I don't know.
This one, again, look, horses.
I don't get that.
I think it's just really pointing out the obvious that, yes, those are horses.
Horses.
When the door is open on a winter day, you say...
Are you trying to freeze us to death?
I'm not paying the heat for the whole neighborhood.
Yeah. I should have seen that one.
You're carrying something heavy, and someone asks, is it heavy? You say...
I feel like this is an easy one. Can't think of it.
It's not heavy.
I don't know.
Just awkward.
Yeah. Okay, I say that all the time. I say every single time I carry something heavy because you don't want to admit that it's heavy.
Yeah.
Dads can't do that.
You are driving, and you're in no matter, like, how am I going to word this? You're literally in any town, and you see people driving. You say,
tourists.
People don't know how to drive in this town. I don't think I pitched that too well to you.
I wouldn't have known it either way.
Here goes. Every time it rains.
It's raining cats and dogs.
No.
I don't know.
We needed this rain.
Oh, yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic. The grass is, yeah.
So you are declining an additional warranty protection, or there's somewhat a yes or no question to something. You say,
are you going to pay the bill?
That's how they get you.
That is how they get you. That's true. That is how they get you.
When someone comes back inside because they forgot something, you say,
what'd you forget? I don't know.
Back already? How was it?
Yeah. Damn it. I'm choking at the end.
After tying something.
I didn't say that.
What?
Never mind.
You'll
hear it in.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard it. Oh, I heard it.
Okay.
What, you want to repeat it again?
No,
Matt?
I will pass.
After tying something down, you say,
that'll hold her.
That's not going anywhere.
That's not okay.
That's all I got.
I say like half of those things on a weekly basis,
which is scary.
And then there's the obvious when a dad sits in a chair. I have actually caught myself doing it. I'm like, hold on. I'm not that old. I may have a bad back, but I am not doing that yet.
My students have caught me and told me, don't ever do that again. I go like, and I'm going to explain it for the people who are listening. I go like this, and it's literally your pinky out and your thumb out, and you're rotating back and forth. It's kind of looking like a
rock on.
Rock on. No, this is rock on. This is like cool man. Like we're very cool man.
Yeah.
Like, so they tell me, they're like, don't do that. And I'm like, why not?
That's classic dad moves.
I remember I walked in, I think this was the last time we did a podcast, and I was in jeans, slippers, and no, I was in, I was in some type of fit. And of course, another student goes, oh, that's quite the dad fit you have on. And I'm like, thanks.
I don't mind when people compliment me on being a dad. I just embrace it.
Father figure.
Not that I'm any time close to being a father myself.
Neither am I.
Well, you're closer than I am.
I don't even want to think about that. Not even ready for it.
Just saying.
I want to continue to do podcasts, Matt. I don't want to be changing diapers at this moment.
We'll change the diaper live on the podcast.
Could you imagine?
That actually no. We will practice on a fake baby. We'll do a speed run of who can change the diaper fastest. Everybody, promise to the people, we will do that.
Everybody, welcome back to episode 237.
That is a promise to the Funny Business listeners. We will do that.
Well, guys, if you have any other things that your dads or yourself says that it sounds like a dad, be sure to let us know in the YouTube comments or the social medias that we have. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Matt has his sports topics. You don't want to miss it. Welcome to the apartment. Let's say you start a podcast or you're running your own side hustle and have a bunch of links that you want your audience to know about. As a podcast, Matt and I have all of our social media, all of our podcast links, and other important things. Make it easier for your followers to find your important links, social media, and latest content by having it all in one page with solo.to. I'll be honest, I have used similar websites like this, but nothing compares to solo.to. All of your links are clean and easy to navigate. Have an upcoming video? It's really easy to make those changes. Plus, solo.to has opportunities to upgrade to include more customization, advanced analytics, and so much more. Solo.to is giving us a special opportunity for you to get 10% off if you create an account and upgrade. Be sure to go to solo.to/funnybusiness to create your account today. Solo.to, it's the way to go. Do you think, Matt, people are tired of hearing our Anchor ad?
Yeah, probably. But let's be honest, if it wasn't for Anchor, we would not be doing a podcast.
You're right, Matt. Once again, we have to thank Anchor for helping us continue to make each episode. Y'all know how it works. Anchor is free. It's easy to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, and distributes your podcast to platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And you all know that you can make money too, even with the first couple episodes that you start with.
So why haven't you started your own podcast yet? Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
So, Mike, when do you think we'll stop talking about Anchor?
Oh, man, Matt. You know what? To be completely honest, I think we'll be talking about this for a long time.
Okay, let's slide into the sports segments for today. We are going to start with some March Madness recap. Crazy weekend. Crazy tournament, to say the least. So many upsets. We're going to hit some of the bigger points from the weekend. We're going to start with probably the biggest story. It is Oral Roberts, the 15 seed, upset number 2 seed Ohio State in the first round. A very good game. And then they went on to beat Florida in the second round. So Twitter was having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do you think any of the Ohio State players laughed at any of the oral jokes on Twitter after the game?
No.
You don't think one of them laughed? Like the guy on the end of the bench that didn't play. You don't think he laughed once?
I don't know, man. College sports is a different realm, especially when it gets higher up D1, D2. But I'm sure you have a story for me.
No.
You don't?
No, I'm just saying. Do you think they laughed? I think I would laugh at some of them. Were pretty funny.
If it wasn't directing towards us as the team, probably. But if it's something about us, I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah. Also, to the people out there that were sending death threats to the Ohio State player that missed the last shot,
that's freaking stupid.
Yeah, screw you.
Screw you.
If you take sports so seriously that you have to tweet at an athlete or like send them a message like talking shit about them, do yourself a favor, just don't watch sports ever again.
Let alone berate a student athlete who's from the age range of 18 to 22 years old.
Not getting paid.
You're going to that point of talking shit to a kid, a young adult. But yeah, I do not find that anywhere near fun.
There's no need for that
Absolutely
in
not.
life.
No.
Let's move on to Sister Jean.
Sister Jean.
We need to have a conversation about Sister Jean.
What about Sister Jean?
So, I have two ways you could look at this. Either one, first of all, did you see her prayer that she said? She literally prayed that they would get the rebounds because Illinois, who they beat in the second round, they shoot 50% on their layups and 30% on threes. Let me tell you, Sister Jean, if you would have told me before the game that Illinois shot 50% on their layups, I would not have picked them to win the national championship. So I would have liked that information prior to that. So thank you.
Know everything. That's and it literally, if you read it out loud, like it'd be like, oh, like this is a nice prayer, and then it immediately turns into a sports report. Like literally, wait a minute, what?
If I had that information, my bracket would be much different. So there's two ways you can look at this. Either one, Sister Jean is addicted to the limelight, and she's trying to take all the attention.
Maybe that's what's keeping her alive.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That could be it. Or is she so smart that she's taking all of this attention on her so that the opposing team is like, okay, how do we overcome the power of Sister Jean instead of scouting the actual players and teams that they're facing? So everyone's like, oh my God, Sister Jean's making this team do this. But they could be a really good basketball team, which they are a really good basketball team.
No, they really are.
And people are just kind of forgetting that, like, this is the second tournament in a row where they could go to the Final Four, and no one saw this coming.
My favorite, the memes of Sister Jean so not memes of memeing Sister Jean, but just the jokes relating to like Catholic faith and all that stuff. One of my favorites, it's an interview. This was obviously, I think, before COVID-19, because there's no masks. It's so weird now. You can tell the difference between when it was before or after or current.
It's crazy.
So there's a picture and it's a meme and it's Sister Jean, a reporter. An interviewer goes, "What did you give up for Lent, Sister Jean?" "Losing."
I don't even know the last time that she lost. I'm very glad she's there, though.
Me too.
I will say, every time they showed her on TV, Loyola Chicago just went on like a 9-2 run. That feels illegal. I can't prove it, but I was just like people to look into that.
Please.
So I just counted, there's a total of 5 double-digit seeds in the Sweet 16, which is just crazy. So there's 11 seed Syracuse, 12 seed Oregon State, Oral Roberts is 15, talked about them, UCLA, the 11 seed, and okay, so I lied, there's 4. So there's only 4. It's been a crazy tournament so far. So, Mike, real quick, let's predict this weekend games. Gonzaga, Creighton.
Yeah, I'm still going Gonzaga.
I will too. And then USC, Oregon. I haven't taken USC.
Did I break that bracket?
Our brackets are pretty much all broken.
That's true.
At this rate.
There's not a perfect bracket.
No, there is no perfect bracket.
USC.
Okay, and then Gonzaga versus USC. For the Final Four, probably still taking Gonzaga.
Yeah, probably still taking Gonzaga.
Okay, so that's in the West. East, Michigan, Florida State.
Michigan.
Okay, I'm taking Florida State because I had them in my Final Four. And then UCLA, Alabama.
Bama.
Okay, and then your game, Florida State, Alabama.
Bama.
Okay, perfect. Baylor, Villanova.
I gotta go Villanova.
I'm gonna take Baylor on that. And then Arkansas, Oral Roberts.
Oral Roberts, baby.
Yeah. Arkansas. You're taking Oral Roberts. Okay. I thought you were just yelling the team name out loud.
I'm not that rude, Matt.
So I'll take Arkansas, and then I'll take Arkansas over Baylor. Your game is Villanova, Oral Roberts.
Oh, I gotta go Oral Roberts. I have a hooked on a feeling.
Listen, Oral is in the Final Four, according to Mike. Loyola, Chicago, Oregon State.
Loyola, Chicago.
I'm riding with Sister Jean.
I'm riding with Sister Jean, man.
Syracuse, Houston.
Cuse.
I'm going to Cuse as well. And then Loyola, Chicago, Syracuse.
Oh.
That would actually be a really good game.
That would be a good game. I'm just hoping to see Loyola go through. Like, I want Sister Jean to win. It's not even the team. I just want Sister Jean to win. There was a meme that I saw. What was last round's game against Syracuse?
They played West Virginia.
And it was like Syracuse's defense right now. And you know how awesome their zone defense is? It's amazing. It's literally a picture of not 5, but about 10 players on the court, because that's what it looks like. I mean, if you've seen these guys, I don't know how, I don't know what they feed them, or B, I don't know how they recruit these guys, because all of them are massive. Like, the hands up D for a zone defense, like, that's like zone 101 is like hands up.
Right.
Spread yourself, so that way you could spread yourself amongst the court.
Right.
But I remember there was before when Syracuse was keep moving on through March Madness, and one of the teams actually practiced by holding a broomstick to block a shot from the catch and shoot, because that's literally what it's like playing against a Syracuse defender, is that reach and that it's crazy.
It's literally insane. Jinx. Yes. I would probably take Syracuse over Sister Jean, although I would love to see Sister Jean back in the Final Four. Also, it's kind of unfair. Jim Boeheim is the coach of Syracuse. His son, Buddy Boeheim, is the best player on the team. That doesn't... someone was tweeting, they went on ESPN's old recruiting page, and it actually says on there, when you click on Buddy Boeheim's profile, it says, Syracuse head coach Jim Boeheim visits Buddy Boeheim. And someone was like, did this happen at the kitchen table? Like, it was like a shoe-in that he was going to Syracuse. It was very fun to watch the tournament this week. I watched I probably tuned in at least for like 2 minutes of every single game just because I had nothing else to do. And I was like, I love March Madness is my favorite time of the year. What was not fun was the Twitter fights that NBA Twitter was having against college basketball Twitter. Did you see any of this?
I'm sure you're referencing Title IX, I guess is the best way to call it.
No. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
So what I'm talking about is people who watch the NBA were complaining and boasting like, oh, I don't know how you people watch college basketball. And then people who watch college basketball were tweeting, I don't know how you guys watch the NBA. And just basically having fights about the whole thing in one of the most pointless arguments of all time. But I wanted to dissect it. Let's start with NBA Twitter. NBA Twitter was complaining that there's not enough scoring in college basketball.
Not enough scoring.
Which
NBA people, not the NBA Twitter account.
Yes, people who tweet and follow the NBA.
Clarify that.
Some people are fans. Some people have like NBA podcasts, stuff like that. This tournament, I could say, yeah, there hasn't been a lot of scoring. However, I would say it's a COVID year.
Yeah, that's why you see all these upsets. I just don't think that higher Division I schools like, give me a few, Matt. Throw me out a few.
That lost Texas
Texas Tech,
Ohio State.
We're going all the Texas. All these teams. I feel like the smaller teams have had more of an opportunity because it's less interaction, and that's why I believe it's not that I blame COVID, but COVID is a reason why that's that.
A lot of teams this season had one or multiple pauses because of COVID in their season. So some of these teams might not have had a lot of practice time. Like, I don't know what you expect from them. And then one of the more stupider things I saw on Twitter, you're actually going to laugh at this one. Speaking of zone defenses.
Gosh, shot clock.
People who follow the NBA that don't, and these are people that actively say they don't watch college basketball.
Right.
They were they were complaining about the fact that there are too many passes against the zone defense. How do you break down a zone defense without passing? Literally, that's how you do it. You pass around the perimeter, and then you get a guy in the middle, throw it to him, pass it to. There's no other way to beat a zone defense but passing.
There's like stupid, and then there's stupid. This is that.
Yes. And also, people were complaining that because there's no offense, because they play zones. Isn't that why the NBA banned zone defenses 20 years ago? Because they wanted more scoring? So if NBA teams were allowed to play zone defense,
I don't think we would ever see a high score anymore.
No, the teams would not hit 120. And also, again, I'm kind of just more so like angry with NBA people on Twitter because they were just like attacking college basketball. Why would you expect games to go 100 points every time when 99% of these guys won't even smell the NBA?
Right.
Like, the NBA players are literally paid to play basketball for a living. They should be able to make tough shots. A lot of these college kids might not even have a scholarship. So how is that fair to them?
It's just, it's hilarious because it's the game of basketball and there's nothing more different than the status. One's getting paid and on a professional team and the other's on a college team and not getting paid. So having the comparison, like, I remember as a kid when I was playing basketball, it was like, you should watch a college game more than an NBA game. You're going to learn so much more from a college game than an NBA game. And they were right. Like, the pace of it, the passing, actually everyone's boxing out.
Yeah.
It's upsetting that there's fighting going on because basketball should be a game where everybody comes together no matter what background you have.
So that's the next point I want to make. Now, I want to say something that would probably piss off both sides. And I want your opinion on this because I can see how this statement could be controversial, but I think it's true. So if you're a fan of the NBA, but you don't like college basketball, and on the flip side, if you're a fan of college basketball, but you don't like the NBA, can I not make the argument that you're not a basketball fan?
Yeah.
You're instead a fan of a specific kind of basketball. Which would, again, that's probably going to piss off a lot of people.
I would back you up on that.
But if you love basketball, you can appreciate it at different levels. Mm-hmm. Like, the NBA is a lot more scoring. College basketball is a lot more system play. Even high school basketball, you're still trying to learn how to actually play for college and then maybe the professionals.
There's a lot of bright spots when it comes to basketball. For the most part, for NBA players, it's the high-flying dunks and the long-range three-pointers. For high school and college, it's the perfect pass or the perfect play or the madness that anything could literally happen, like March Madness. No, I'd literally back you up on that. You're not a basketball fan then. You're a fan of the organization more than anything.
Absolutely. The passing, I will say the passing in this tournament has been phenomenal. Like these kids make passes that guys in the NBA can't make. It's crazy. It's not just the men's tournament going on. The women's tournament is also going on. I've watched a little bit of the women's tournament. It's equally as fun. Very fun to watch. Very good basketball. There was an unfortunate moment last week where women basketball players were making TikToks and posting photos of their, I don't even want to call it gym, because there was basically just like 10 dumbbells that they got compared to the men who had like an entire space.
It was literally a ballroom compared to a bathroom.
Yes.
Not even a bathroom, a single bathroom.
It was. And actually someone took a video of that bathroom look. There was it was a gym. Like there was open space everywhere.
Yeah.
It was this empty space that they didn't use, and they only gave them like a corner to use for a gym. So obviously it's Title IX that
Big
comes
time
into play. The NCAA president came out and said that it was inexcusable.
So why did it happen?
Like, bingo. How did this happen?
Survey says, boom.
I don't understand how they thought this was okay.
What also pissed me off was when it happened and they made it better. Their social media team was like, oh, like, look at this. It's all great. Like, okay, congratulations. Yeah. You listened to us, and like, you need a pat on the... You need a participation trophy. Like, that's literally what they were asking for, was, here it is. You happy now? And people were still not happy because there was so many other things, which I'm sure you wanted to touch upon, like the meals too. Like that's another thing that is very bad. Much food was bad.
Well, both sides were bad to start off.
It's college food.
But however,
let's be honest here. It's college food.
There were then photos of the men having able to have a buffet. And the women were still getting like individual meals sent to their hotel rooms, whatever they are. Yeah, not a great look for the NCAA. And the social media posts, I've heard someone say this before. This is a great idea. Sport teams, and honestly, every business needs to have one person, even if it's his only job, like a part-time guy. You come to him and say, hey, we're going to post this on social media. Can we get made fun of for this?
You know what that's called?
A social media manager?
PR.
The PR, yes. But there needs to be one person that is like in tune with everything. That's like, you go to him or her and say, can we get made fun of for this? If the answer is yes, maybe you don't post that.
We're preaching to the choir.
I know, but it's a concept I don't know how more people don't understand at this point.
It's a lack thereof of how people are adapting to the social environment, and let's say qualifications are a huge factor. You know, in most cases, a team of one of social media, it's very much so. I know it's like kind of going off topic, but like some people are a team of one, like myself. Like, I mean, yeah, I do have help. I have my boss, but really you're the PR, you're the designer, you're the strategist, you're the production, and you're the analyst.
Right.
You have 5 jobs into one, 10 jobs sometimes. There's not that one person that is overall viewing it and saying, yeah, you probably want to stop that. Like,
but at least in someone like yours case, like you're in tune with social media, you know what's good to post, what's not good to post.
I get the Tic Tacs sometimes.
It just blows my mind that there's so many people that just don't get it.
But they get paid so much money for it too.
Yes.
There's not one person out there that can get paid the most money and being like, yeah, that's not a good idea. I would pay the most money. If I had a budget, I'd give the most money to the PR person. Because they're going to save your ass so many times for shit like that.
I would agree with that. That's fair. Let's throw one more topic in real quick. So the big NBA injury.
Oh,
LeBron James.
Ankle James.
Ankle James.
I just made that up.
He sprained his ankle. Did you see the video?
I did not.
So I'm going to stick my foot up for reference. You know how sprained ankles usually turn in?
Oh, don't tell me it turned out.
His went out.
Oh, man.
And that's usually not the best. That's like the worst kind of sprained ankle from what I heard. So he's out indefinitely. The problem is Anthony Davis is also might not come back to the playoffs. So now we have a big issue for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, yeah, because that happened during LeBron's first season or second season with them?
First season.
First season.
Yeah, well, it was just himself and they got injured.
He had a groin injury.
Yes, and it was pretty much out after Christmas. Yes. So here's the issue. We can throw the 1 seed and probably the 2 seed out the window. So right now, 1 seed is Utah, 2 seed the Suns. No big deal. So right now, Lakers are the 3 seed. Here's the issue. We have that playing game tournament.
Yes.
So right now, the Lakers have a 2.5 game lead over Portland, the 6 seed. That could easily go away because Lakers have no one without LeBron or Anthony Davis.
Okay.
This is saying if LeBron's out a long time. Then San Antonio is 7, Dallas 8, Warriors 9, Grizzlies 10. If they fall into the 7 to 10 seed, let's say they get the 7 seed and they have to play a game to actually make the playoffs, Memphis or Golden State is not going to be an easy out.
No.
Even
it's
if
game, right?
Yeah, so the way it is 7 and 8 seed are going to play a game. That winner gets the 7 seed. And then the winner of the 9 and 10 seed game plays the loser of the first game for the 8 seed. So there's a potential if the Lakers get the 7 seed, they lose 2 games, they're not in the playoffs. And it's also a big deal because the trade deadline, I believe, is this Thursday. So do they make a move to get like another young star that isn't going to cost a whole lot? Or do you kind of ride this season out and have the potential that you don't even make the playoffs? Very bad timing.
I'm all about playing. Like, I'm all about playing and trying to win. But in situations like this, when you have both your star players not available, why try to gas out the entire team?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. They lost to the Suns on Sunday. Suns on Sunday. And then
we don't lose on Sunday.
They play New Orleans tonight, and the Pelicans right now are under 500. Not even super close to the playoffs, and I believe they're like 5-point favorites over the Lakers. So there's a big stretch here that like could make or break their season.
Oh, yeah.
Even if they get the 5 seed, they could face the Clippers in the first round, and then they'd have to play like the Suns or the Jazz in the finals. Like, it's not going to be an easy path. Just something to keep an eye on. That concludes all the sports topics we have today. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for Dude, That's Crazy. Okay, you all know how this works. Mike, I will let you go first.
So it's not to start, but 3 hours ago, Marvel Studios just released that Black Widow is going to be in theaters July 9th and on Disney Plus with Premiere Access.
So you can watch on Disney Plus.
Watch on Disney Plus.
So who would go to the theater to watch this?
Those who don't have Disney Plus. Those who are dumb and don't have Disney
Plus. Let me tell you, if you don't have Disney Plus, you're missing out, folks.
Well, my first one for today, Matt, seems a little interesting.
I'm ready.
This happened in Sweden.
Okay.
A couple. Remember we were talking about being dads?
Yeah.
What's the most challenging thing about having a kid? Before the diapers and all that.
Before, like, planning how you're going to live with one?
What to name it? It.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What to name it?
That could be a tough decision.
So, a couple once tried to name their child. I'm going to show you it.
Excuse me?
So I'm going to spell it because okay. BRFXXCCLLMN PRXVCLMNCKSSQLBB11116. And it's pronounced Albin.
Why? Dude, that's crazy. Those people, I don't know if I trust them raising a child. Do they want that? Should be child abuse.
Could you imagine a kid trying to write his first name in kindergarten?
That's a good point. That's a great point. That should be child abuse.
So the article says celebrities are known for giving their child unique names. Vogue points out that an A-lister kid names include Gravity, Pilot, Inspector, Inspectors with a K, Apple, and of course, North Saint in Chicago. But you don't have to be famous to opt for an unexpected moniker. According to BBC, a couple tried to name their child that, which apparently pronounced Albin. They had reportedly chosen the title to protest Sweden's strict name-related laws, which is why it may not be surprising that their selection was rejected.
So they're using your kid as an example to protest.
Yeah, which is dumb. Don't ever bring your kids involved in the protest.
That's not the way to go. That's crazy.
I'm okay with North Saint, Chicago.
Yeah.
Those are, you
Yes.
could get by, but
That's
whatever the
literally-
hell I said, no.
That's just torture.
That is very much so torture.
Yikes.
Your turn, buddy.
Alrighty. This one does make you think.
Okay.
If the early bird gets the worm, why do good things happen to those who wait?
Yeah.
It's a crazy question.
Dude, that's f***ing crazy.
Yeah. So is it better to get there early or to wait?
Or are you waiting? Do you wait when you get there early?
Yeah. Can you still get the worm if you wait?
If you wait. Or if you get there early, do you have the most time to get the worm?
Yeah. I guess you could also wait and still get part of the worm. But if you get there early, you might always not have the good things happen. Because if you get there early, you're too early, then you got to wait. So then early bird didn't get the worm, but good things happened because you waited.
What the
Are we high right now?
We didn't say we wouldn't give up merit. No.
Disavow.
Disavow. Yeah.
That one makes you think.
Would you rather be early or would you rather wait?
I'm always a big be there early person.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know, that's just a personal.
Can't you do both? Really?
Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah, well, I mean, if you get there super early, you're going to have to.
Right, you're going to have to wait.
Right, that's a good point. I think a little combination of both works sometimes.
It does.
Yes.
I think it does.
Absolutely.
Like, if you're there to get Black Friday, like, early bird gets the worm and you have to wait in line, like, good thing comes to those who wait.
Great example.
I did it.
It's a great example.
Myth confirmed.
Yes. Great show.
Mythbusters. Rest in peace, Grant Imahara. Matt, my last one.
Go for it.
Remember your songs as a kid? Like, you remember singing
Like
songs
the wheels
as
on
a
the
kid?
bus go round
The
and
wheels
round.
on the bus go round and round.
Okay.
Name some others.
Ring around the rosy.
Okay.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Stop right there. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Go ahead, sing me the song.
Twinkle,
Twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Do you know stars don't actually twinkle?
That's Cap. It's got to be Cap. You don't?
Stars, the light that emanates from stars is steady and constant. The Earth's atmosphere is what interferes with that, which causes the visual of twinkling.
Damn. Dude, that's crazy. I feel like my whole childhood's been a lie.
That's what they literally say. May have led to believe that these massive celestial bodies in the night sky are sparkling.
That's crazy. I also don't understand stars.
Stars are cool. Space.
They're
Space
awesome.
is cool.
Space
Let me tell you.
is crazy. But like, how does light just exist out there? Like, with like how?
What?
Like stars are light.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, wait. What stars? Stars are energy.
I'm gonna Google
Thanks, Matt.
what
I took Earth and Space my sophomore year in high school.
This is great podcast right here.
It's gas, right?
Stars are huge celestial bodies made of mostly hydrogen and helium that produce light and heat from the churning nuclear forges inside their cores.
Yikes.
Yeah. That's crazy. They don't twinkle.
They don't twinkle. So we're
But
going to
it
have
doesn't.
to say
Now, the sun is a giant star,
the sun is a star.
but that kind of twinkles, doesn't it?
That's the atmosphere. That's the UV rays.
But I thought we've seen videos of the sun that like have like flames.
If you did,
I don't know.
Matt looked like he was turning a light bulb, but he was moving and he was moving
No,
and
there's
rotating.
like things that move on the sun.
Yeah, those are solar flares.
Yeah. So isn't that twinkling?
No, it's a flare.
All right. I guess that's true.
I'm sorry to ruin your childhood, Matt.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay, Rocky.
Elephants have religion.
Wait, you're gonna throw that on me like that? What?
Elephants have religion.
Tell me more.
So well, it's not known if they have like a specific god they pray to.
Okay.
Elephants, like when an elephant dies, they will do a ritual for their dead brother, sister, father, for their friend. Like elephants will do rituals, and like they do like rituals before they eat and things like that. So it's believed that elephants have religion, or at least are spiritual. This is a dead fact.
Oh, like my star.
Yes.
Well, I mean, dude, that is crazy. I never want to say like elephants are like my favorite animal.
I love it.
But like elephants are pretty cool.
I don't know if I've ever seen one in person.
I don't think I have either. I've seen a giraffe.
Giraffes are cool.
I'm a giraffe.
That giraffe not as cool, but giraffes are actually cool.
Giraffes are pretty cool. What else is pretty cool like an animal like that?
Hippos.
Dragon.
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 Hippos are pretty badass.
Yeah. Big and chunky.
Manatees.
Dolphins.
Dolphins are cool.
Dolphins are super cool.
Yeah, especially when you see them in the ocean.
Yeah.
When they.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I saw one for the first time when I was in Bethany Beach in Delaware.
Oh, there's tons.
I was literally sitting there and I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, it's a dolphin. And then like everyone's looking at me like, Mike, like, yeah, it's a dolphin. I'm like, I've never seen one. Like
when we were in Florida, we had like our condo was like right on the little bay. They would just like come like swim right up to the dock. It was freaking awesome.
That's so cool. I want to pet a dolphin sometime.
I feel like I have pet a dolphin. I think I went to SeaWorld and I was like 3rd grade.
Oh, that's pretty
I
cool.
think they let you pet dolphins. Huh. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff, man.
Absolutely. So if you didn't know elephants have religion, now you do.
Yes. Damn. Wow. What a great episode.
Really was.
That was awesome. Welcome back, Matt.
It feels good to be back. To be
honest. Does, honestly.
It really does.
And like we kind of like I remember we came. We had to get out of work, and I had to get out of work. Like coming home, I'm like, what? I didn't have anything set up yet, but I mean, how many times we did 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
This is the 5th scenario and 5th
in person.
5th in person podcast, but this is the first.
I just came out of nowhere. Oh my God. You know what? We're ending it there.
Okay.
Please follow us on social media, solo.to/funnybusiness. I just can't get it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you all on the next episode. Episode 50. Oh, next week. We have a crazy episode.
Oh my God. I can't believe it.
We have a crazy episode next week. So
episode 50.
Stay safe, everyone.
We'll see you all in the next episode.